All right, welcome back to Black Glass Trivia Night. This is Art, and I think we're up to, part like 57. This is going to be, I think, Volume 4, Book 7. Remember last time, Book 6 was the Battle for Pelennor Fields. I don't know if it's just me or if it's the game. I'm the last couple of things I've just kind of been like, meh. But I will say the Battle for Pelennor Fields kind of ended strong emotionally. So, a lot of good emotional beats. There's a lot of resolution to characters we've been, journeying with for a little bit. All the resolutions are basically bad. Almost like a Souls NPC quest line. Like, oh, they're all bad. Okay. But yeah, so here we are. We're in the aftermath of the battle. And like I was saying last time, I'm kind of curious to see if there's a change in tone to the main story, because in my mind, this is sort of the turning point. Book 7, Chapter 1, Beginning to Heal. Travel to Aragorn's pavilion east of the city after the Battle of Pelennor Fields. A horse at the threshold of the city during the battle will bring you after the battle. So it's going to be sort of like a different instance to show the battle's over. So, okay, so let's figure out where that is. This is going to be over here. Looks like there's a couple things over here. But you can see now, like, a lot less red, a lot more green. They've sort of got the pockets contained. This didn't seem to... Maybe I wasn't using it correctly. This didn't seem to matter too much, but, like, there wasn't a gameplay thing associated with it, but I guess it just sort of, gave you a visual indicator of what was going on in the battle. But, and I think that's part of why I was saying things like, I feel like I'm watching the game sort of collapse under its own weight. You know what? I might have to take a horse to get there. More and more, you said like they're trying to make they're trying to add all these interesting things to cover all the amazing things that happen in the book. And I don't know if it's, it's a lot of like bolted on stuff. Yeah, it's a dismissive way to put it. And I don't mean it to be, insulting. But it just feels like, we're trying to make this engine do so many things, and it's just not always holding up. Okay, so current quests.
I thank you for coming.
Also, I'm just going to take some of these because I don't know. Oh, repeatable? No, I don't care about repeatable. Don't care. Don't care. Okay. Let's see what this... More repeatable. Okay, so we're going to skip this stuff. And, and I don't know what the answer is because, you've got about 12,000 hours of gameplay to fill. You've got I think, a genuinely good main story line to serve. You want to serve the story. And it's just, Aragorn has need of his captains to determine his next course of action.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I don't want to sound like I'm just a total grouch, because, there's been a lot of good stuff, but there's just sometimes I'm just like, partly I don't want to do this, and then partly I don't know if this is working.
Aragorn wishes to call a council of the captains.
Let's bump that up. Aragorn wishes to call a council of the captains in order to determine what to do next, but many of those he desires to have a voice are elsewhere on the fields or in the city. Direvun of the north and Elfhelm of Rohan are not far to the southwest, if you can hasten their return to the pavilion. I met Legolas the elf on my way here, and I understand he is a friend of yours? Oh, well, I mean, I guess, yeah, if he's saying we're friends, then I guess we're friends. Yeah, of course. Legolas, of course, we're friends. I met Legolas the elf on my way here, and I understand he's a friend of yours and was a companion of Mithrander's in the north. He spoke fair words to me, and I marveled that his journey brought him to these lands during a time of war. Aragorn will want him to be present as well, and also his friend the dwarf. No name. I did not catch his name, but it seemed to me that elf and dwarf were bonded as friends, and you might not find one without the other. That is unusual of itself, but these are strange times, and we may well find our strongest friendships where we least expect them.
We must dispose of the vile corpse of the Witch King's fell beast.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so first thing I need to do, I need to start taking some of these things off. I might start actually dumping. And again, it's not that I feel good about doing this, but we're going to be looking forward, not looking back. And I want to clear some of this queue. Like this one I could hand in if I... Yeah, but I was about to say if there was like a mithril coin, I could just bang it out, but let's hold on to that because it's done. But let's get rid of these. I know there's a limit to how many quests you can have. I'm sure it's probably pretty high, but let's time to start focusing. Let's get rid of these. I didn't remember ever. Oh, you know, I might have accepted them just so they stopped popping up. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Yep. Definitely don't need Minas Tirith quests. Again, some of them, like what was going on with the water supply, I think I would have been interested in pursuing, but I just don't have it in me to run around old Minas Tirith at this point. Yeah, this one, sabotaging the cisterns. I thought that could have been an interesting quest line, but now I feel bad about doing this, but then at the same time, and I'm looking, I'm like, you know, defeat 7 riders, defeat, you know, so it's not like, I don't know. I don't think I'm missing, like, incredibly new gameplay. I'm just, yeah, let's get rid of that one. Much like the cast of characters getting completely decimated, we're going to be doing the same to our quest log. Okay, boom, boom. So I think now I've got basically the new stuff ready to go. Okay, so we need to talk to Aragorn.
Many of the fallen remain uncounted, and for that we cannot yet mourn.
Theoden, Fastred, Guladir, Halbarad are but a few of the names of those who fell on the battlefield yesterday. Many more of the fallen remain uncounted, and we cannot mourn, remember, or honor them while this is so. Please, my friend, go about the pavilion and see what you can learn of the battle. More took place here than any one can comprehend. And there's something else.
I have need of your assistance.
I have need of your assistance. We have won the battle, but the enemy is far from true defeat. You understand this as much as anyone. We must act swiftly and decisively. We are soon to embark on our most arduous and perilous journey yet. I think. I hope you will come with me, but first I must ask you to bring word to Eomer and Engbor that our forces, such as they are, must be prepared to march. Eomer's right there, dude.
I shall fetch Mithrandir to accompany us.
Alright, let's travel later.
It is good to see you again.
I saw you speak with Aragorn. Yes, I hope you would, because he's right there. Many Rohirrim have died this last day. If we were to stop now, their deaths would surely be for naught. I am rightful king of Rohan now, and my men will do as I bid. Tell Aragorn I raise my sword with his, and that when he blows his horns, we will come to the call. So let's see. We're looking for this one. Okay, so we're looking to go out a bit. I assume we're under here.
We ride with the wrath of Theoden's death.
Okay, so this guy tried to do his best to take out as many orcs as he could. There's Glaewine. Okay, stay by the side of Theoden King. When I heard that Aragorn had set up an encampment, I rode out. These are a lot of the people I think that were part of our story that survived. Can't help you. Still bearing the heavy loss of his sons. Okay, I've trusted Aragorn since the moment I saw him. There is much to be done if we are to move as an army. You know what? Let me just make sure.
I greet you, friend.
No items to reforge. Okay. Okay, I'm sure you fought bravely. How I survived this ordeal, I cannot say. Still lucky to be alive. Okay, looking for Harding. Thought we would meet again here, but nowhere to be found. Quartermaster?
The Rangers will not surrender us, Gilioth.
Definitely don't care about traceries and legendary, like, holy shit, do I not care about any of that. Before I started recording, I was sort of messing around with that and like, okay, like, Googled it. Okay, how do I do this again? And what is it? Oh my god. It is tedious.
I shall fetch Mithrandir to...
And maybe it's only tedious because...
Can I rely on you to find those still missing or presumed dead? Dervarine and Rosaron are unaccounted for.
Okay, so we're going to be looking for...
Would you ask Dwynhir if he is willing to identify his sons?
Ooh.
Forlong, Golisgil, and Hirluin all were lost in the tempest of combat. Ingold and Turgon both remain missing.
Okay, so we're going to be looking for survivors in the...
We must protect Gondor at all cost.
You know, the idea, like, you know, you put it in the backpack, and once you put them into the backpack to free up slots, you can't actually apply them from the backpack. So then you gotta drag them, but then again, still, like, where I'm clicking doesn't seem to be exactly where I'm pointing the mouse. And after a while, I was just like, holy cow, like, I just don't want to engage with this at all. But I did manage to, I don't know why this is locked. I did manage to yeah, factions don't care. Like, again, this is me not... I want to see if I can reclaim those traceries before I sell it. I'm hoping that's how it works. But yeah, so, I applied, you see my morale is now like 23, blah, blah, blah. Obviously... Nope, it's not going to work there. Essence Reclamation Scrolls. What's that called? Battle-Tested Ring of Warfare. Is that on the list? Yeah. What's this called? This is called Tough Leggings of Norian Tree. So I'm starting to sort of kind of get a little bit of the hang of it. But I will tell you that it's too fiddly for my taste. If I have to be honest with you. And again, that might be what I'm going back to a lot, is the idea like that, a lot of things are sort of put together as they go. Try and make it all work. But yeah, it gets to the point where, like, for me personally, I have no investment in those kinds of rewards. So, yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. And that's not the game's fault. It's just my personal taste. Okay, so, let's just double check. We're looking for... Find Elfheim, southwest of Aragorn's pavilion on the Pelennor Fields. Okay, so let's head southwest. Elfheim and Direvun are deep in a conversation, but they look up as you approach. I like the, I do like this, like the, using the different instances to show, like, change to the world, so it doesn't just have to be a static setting. We've got the battle-scarred walls, the siege engines that are destroyed. I do like this stuff.
The battle is ended. It was a victory hard bought.
It was a victory hard bought, and many good men fell upon this field and will not return to their homes. Alas for Elfmar, alas for my sons. As much of the Elfward as remains mourns for him, and I weep with them. This man Direvun was a companion of mighty Golodir who slew the Olog Thurgrath, though he died in the doing. We have been sharing tales of our fallen, and it has eased my sorrow somewhat, though it cannot erase it. His people appear stern and grim at first, but I have marked that they speak warmly of their friends and the lands from which they hail. Perhaps they're not so very different from the men of the mark as I supposed. I will seek for more of the leaders of my people and go to the Rangers' Pavilion at once.
I am happy you survived. So many of our friends did not.
Loyal Halbarad, weary Golodir, young Celerant, I feel their loss keenly. 8 of my brothers fell upon Pelennor in service to Aragorn, but if they had the choice for fighting for him once again, he would find 8 minds unchanged. I will continue on to his pavilion, and no matter his command, I will see it done. Okay, so we need to find Legolas and Gimli at the city gates of Minas Tirith, west of Aragorn's pavilion. Curious. Okay. Alright, there's Legolas and Gimli. Let's see, Smiles Your Approach, but let me just see what these guys have to say. Oh, these are repeatable quests. I don't know if I already looked at this. Okay. I think I did. Here's Legolas.
We have been to see Merry, where he lies in the houses of healing.
I'm pleased to report that he will survive his wounds. We spoke with him for a time and rested upon the wall. He is weary, but the worst seems behind him. Have you taken the opportunity to explore the city? It's impressive, but there are not enough gardens here, and the folk suffer for their lack. They need more that is green and growing. If Aragorn does claim his crown, my people will bring him birds to sing and trees to thrive. And this will be a better city for their presence. We are on our way back to Aragorn's pavilion. I'm eager to learn what he chooses for his next course. Oh, another player. I feel like it's been a while since I've been a player. Well, I've been doing instances, so level 109 Lore Master, nice.
My axe has not yet had its fill.
That's a little psychotic if you really think about what he's saying. Level 112 Lore Master, nice. Now that the battle is done, I've taken a good look at the stonework of the city. Some of it's finely made, but there's plenty of careless stonework as well, and I see much that might be improved in the layout of the streets. Do not mistake me, any dwarf would see the same. Where should we go next? My axe has not had its fill, and I will wield it on behalf of Aragorn wherever he deems it most needed. Alright. Talk to Aragorn. Again, like, you know, for all my scaling UI, like, I don't think it's sticking. Or maybe they got rid of it for the time being because it wasn't working. I have no idea. Okay, let's see. Give a little space at the edges there. Okay. Well, you know, what are you gonna do?
The battle is won, but time is short. Some things that were kept secret must now be revealed.
There we go. Level 104. We're gonna decline. Oops, shit. Let's decline. Decline. And yeah, I probably accepted these just so I didn't have to decline them every time. Okay, so let's
Some things that were kept secret must now be revealed.
A decision made without all the information is undermined even as it is made. When we meet in council, some things that were kept secret must be revealed if we are to properly weigh our choices. I hope you will think no less of me for keeping these secrets, my friend. You're a good friend and true, and if I kept you in the dark, I did so only because at the time I thought it was needed. It's Speak to me when you're ready to meet.
It is time to decide our course.
Aragorn has called for a council to determine his next course of action. May wisdom guide his steps.
This way. I think they'll soon start. The captains who fought on Pelennor are here now, and it's time to begin. Greetings, my lords and friends, captains of soldiers assembled on Pelennor. We have won a great battle, but now we must have a choice to make. Much rests upon our decision. Of what decision do you speak, Aragorn? Mithrandir will explain it all to us, that we may choose aright. Oh, okay. You remember the words of Denethor? In them I think there is much we might learn. Yes, the Steward of Gondor had much to say about the dangers that threaten us. He claimed that victory on the Pelennor might last for an hour or a day, but that we could not hope for a lasting victory against the power that rules in Mordor. Denethor fell into despair at the sight of Sauron's armies in the depths of the Seeing Stone. We must not despair as he did, though it took all our strength to fight back the first assault. The next assault will be greater than this last. Sooner or later, one will come we have not the power to defend. Denethor was right. Strength of arms will not bring us victory. If we cannot achieve victory, would you advise us to hide behind our walls, enduring siege after siege until we can last no longer? You would have us retreat to Minas Tirith or Dol Amroth or Dunharrow and wait for the end? I will not play like a child with a sandcastle waiting in fear as the tide comes in. Yet this is exactly what all of Gondor did during the days of Denethor. Oh damn. Watching, waiting, doing nothing. Do not misunderstand me, I still hope for victory, but not through battle. Into this debate must come the Ring of Power, for it is central to the matter. You know enough of this thing to understand our danger, my lords. If Sauron regains the ring that he lost, his victory will be complete. Your valorous deeds will come to naught. But if the ring is destroyed, his fall will be swift and total. A great evil of this world will be gone, Sauron will be no more. Sauron knows all this. He knows that the ring he lost has been found again, but he knows not where it is now. His greatest fear is that we have found it, for there are those among us with the strength to wield it. Am I right to think you've revealed yourself to him, Aragorn? Yes, my friend. Before I rode from the Hornburg, I deemed the time was ripe to use the Stone of Orthanc. Saruman's Seeing Stone. I believed that the stone had come into my possession for this very purpose. "10 days had passed since the ring-bearer went east from Rharos. I thought it would be meet to draw Sauron's gaze to me and away from his own lands. Had I known how swift would be his response, perhaps I should have waited. And yet that swiftness proved an error. He did not crush Gondor with that first throw. Aye, that is so. You say it's hopeless for us to attack Sauron if he has the ring. But why should he not feel the same if he thinks we have it? Alright. There are some considerations that may slow his hand. The ring can only be wielded by one, rather than by many. Sauron will expect a struggle among those who seek to wield it. He waits until one among us seeks to become greater than the others, and that is when he will act, seizing the advantage of our disarray. His Nazgûl still fly overhead, seeking signs of our movement. He's not forgotten the sword of Elendil, and now he has seen it reforged. His first assault was turned back and his greatest captain slain. The winds of fortune have begun to blow in our favor. For the first time, doubt has begun to gnaw at him. We do not have the ring. Through either wisdom or folly, it has been sent away to be destroyed, lest it destroy us. Without it, we cannot defeat Sauron by force. This, then, is my counsel. We keep Sauron's eyes fixed upon us and blind to his true peril. We march out to meet him, making ourselves the bait. He will see this as the prideful action of the new Lord of the Ring. He will empty his lands, seeking to destroy this young upstart and take it back. Giving Frodo his chance. It's a trap, not for us, but for the Dark Lord. Yes, Legolas, yes, you're about 2 steps behind. Now, in the movies, I think Aragorn comes up with a plan. Legolas is right. We seek to capture Sauron's attention and keep it fastened upon us for as long as we can. But do not misunderstand. If we march to the Black Gate, there will be nothing to keep him from sending the considerable forces within Mordor to crush us completely, and without mercy. We'll buy time for the Ring-Bearer to complete his mission, but there will be no more time for us. Any who go with me on this last march should know he goes to his death. There will likely be no returning from this. Still, consider it my duty to try. I do not claim to command any man in this. Let each make his choice as he will. We came from Imladris with this purpose. We will not turn back. I do not know much of these dealings, but I know this. My friend Aragorn aided my people when they had need, and now I will aid him. Aragorn is my king, whether he claims it or no. His wish is a command to me. But the city must not be undefended behind us. We do not need a great force to march on the Black Gate. This is not an army with designs of victory. We will determine the numbers we bring east and the numbers we leave behind. May this be the right choice, Black Lodge. I would rather die doing my part to bring about a new age than to do nothing, and know the new age will never come. We must determine the numbers we will need. There's still work to do before we set forth. All right.
This is not the easy decision, but I think it is the right one.
Cannot defeat Sauron in battle, but we must draw his gaze and keep it upon us for as long as we can. All our hopes lie now on Frodo and Sam, and we must do what we can to aid them from afar. And, you know, going back to, like, this is why, like, I just, like, all this essences and tracer is, like, because you just are getting new gear so fast, just like, okay, just, all right, whatever, just, whatever. It's just, I don't know if it's worth it. Let's see, might, vitality critical, agility vitality critical, or will vitality. I'm gonna go might.
So it is decided.
For better or ill, the men I sent marching through Lossenoch from Pellegrir have drawn nigh the city. So too have the men I commanded to follow the corsair ships and smaller watercraft up the Anduin. They loiter now, waiting for orders. Let's give them direction and hope that they make good of their word when they find that direction is east, toward the shadow. Take this call for soldiers and read it to heralds in the field and throughout the first circle of the city. The heralds will then bring its message to the waiting soldiers and float the number of men that will march with us. All right. Just see what this is. This is going to be like one of those. So I just picked up a, let's see, I think my, so I just picked up some gear as a reward. It was a cloak. Is it this cloak? No, that's not a cloak. But minimum level 105. So I'm not that far from it, but I'm wondering. Defeat Mordor spies. I'm gonna click this just to, because it's gonna be like aid him in as many tasks as. Oh, shit! I didn't mean to do that. I don't like just.
Will you help bear my burden, friend?
Aid the rangers of Aelin Varen as much as you're able, and when you are ready to move on, meet Thurindal along the road to the north. I want to know where I am, because I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, let's fast travel back. I thought he was going to be on the field somewhere. Okay, so let's get our head back together here. Find the herald northwest of Aragorn's pavilion. Let's first get back out there. So I'm nervous. This is, a little timey-wimey here, a little bit like I'm back before the battle is completely, I don't know. This is the problem with instances and keeping old quests and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to do this. I'm getting turned around here a little bit. Let me see. Hold on one sec. Okay. So I can't zoom in. Let's. You gently explain that Aragorn has asked Twin here to identify his son's bodies. I cannot. I've seen so much death. To see theirs. You came to know them well in these last days, did you not? Will you go in my stead? Yeah, I mean, of course he's not going to have the strength to do that. What are we doing? Okay, collector. I'll just grab it just in case. Because again, like some of my equipment's 105, I'm 104. Maybe I'm going to start coming up a little short. All right, let's head north and let's see what's going on in these white circles. Herald waits for your message. The Herald vouches for a number of soldiers to join Aragorn's army. I will find many soldiers for King Elisar. $462 soldiers pledged, so I wonder if that's going to be like a little resource management game you're going to have to deal with. The Herald waits for your message. Alright, more soldiers for the army. We're up to 1450. And then I thought we had to go into level 1 of the city. The Herald waits for your message. There we go. Okay, so they're going to get the message to the city. We're up to just shy of 2,000 soldiers. They find the Herald north of the city gate. Housebroker, let's not worry about that right now. next herald. Alright, that was not many soldiers. Harold vouches for a number of soldiers to join the army. Yeah, the setting continues to be really well done. Like, you know, the very much capturing the feel of a city that just held off an impossible onslaught. Okay, not one of his sons. Not one of his sons. Still not one of his sons. You're certain this is the body of Darufin. Again, still haven't found the other son. Just waiting for it to catch up, because obviously we found... You are certain this is the body of Dwelin. Gonna head to that floating, blinking white circle to the north real quick. Just want to see what's going on. Shit. Okay, so the zone's still a little hot, and what we need to do is get in there and help some people out, I guess. Getting some really bad lag. Yeah, my gambits are just totally in the trash. I mean, yeah, this is shit. I'm gonna die because because I don't know what the inputs were doing. Like, I don't want to say that was like the worst the lag has ever been, but it was the most disruptive to my inputs in a while. Where like nothing was lining up. Like even when I was pausing to wait, it still didn't matter. Trying to like clear status effects was probably making things worse because it was adding to like, I don't know where I am in the lag and the gambit input, and at the same time though those things will melt you, so I wasn't, I don't know. Turgon died with honor in combat. Okay. I'm not sure where's like they're down there. Okay, so let's head back to the pavilion.
I thank you. It was a difficult task.
So again, I can't tell if it's lag because or did I just not click the right box? Yeah, already, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's...
Could you ask Dween here if he is willing to identify his sons?
I think I just did that.
Speak to my other commanders. Learn how large a host we have assembled.
How many men were the herald heralds able to reach with their voices? More than 2,000, you say? That's very good and matches my hopes. These other commanders have also done work to gather soldiers for the march. Speak to them and see how large a host we've assembled. It need not be enough to wage war upon Mordor, but it must be large enough to threaten battle. So I'm hoping like it just got all tripped up and that the Identify the Sun's quest is good.
Jest in all the history of Gondor.
My swan knights have scoured the nearby lands of Gondor for fighting men. They report that 3,500 will march for Mordor with Aragorn. It's as fine a total as any for which you might hope, and proves the courage of Gondor, so fresh from the battle and still hungry for more. But this must be the greatest jest in all of the history of Gondor. We march to assail the Black Gate and the impenetrable land of Mordor, and with fewer men than might have formed just the vanguard of its army in the mighty days. It brings to my mind a child threatening his mail-clad knight with a toy bow, or a buzzing fly seeking to sting a man working in the hot sun. The Dark Lord will smile and knock down the child and squish the fly in his palm, and that will be the end of it. What else is there to do but laugh at the jest? It's not a bad approach.
Eomer King has given me command of the main force of the Rohirrim.
Some 3,000 still a horse. It is to the west road we will go to hold it against the enemy that is still in Anorian. Much has been asked of my men already, but Rohan will not abandon her friends. Many among the Rohirrim were unhorsed during the battle lately ended, but they are still war-worthy and will not let that stay their weapons. 500s of these will follow behind, and I will lead 500s on horse alongside. Okay, talk to Mithrandir in the pavilion. Is he inside? Oh, no, he's... Oh, wait, no. There he is. Okay.
I think Imrahil has wrongly judged the mind of the Dark Lord.
The Prince of Dol Amroth believes that Aragorn's army will be as a stinging fly to the forces of the Dark Lord. He's not wrong that these 7,000s are a mere pittance to the number of Sauron's houses. He's not wrong that these 7,000 are mere pittance to the number of Sauron houses within the Black Land, but it seems to me that Imrahil has wrongly judged the mind of the Dark Lord. Yes, we go to sting the Dark Lord, but he will not squish us for all our buzzing. No, he will seek to trap the fly and take the sting, all unaware of our deception. On that deception, all of our fortunes rest. It is the secret fly that bears the most dangerous sting of all for Sauron, and let him remain blind to it until it's be too late.
Our secrecy was born of necessity, but now it must end.
We have moved in secrecy ever since I came to know you. It was a secrecy born of necessity, for we needed every advantage we might attain in our struggle against the Dark Lord. Whispered counsels gave rise to hidden errands and close-guarded conspiracies. But no longer. While Frodo continues his quest in the shadows, Aragorn strides into the light, and he must draw Sauron's gaze to him, and away from the real purpose, with every means at his disposal. Let the departure of Aragorn's army be a loud one and snare the attention of the Dark Lord. Wars are fought with weapons, but this battle for Sauron's eye will be fought with noise and tumult, with musical instruments and those who wield them. Walk the Pelennor and find men who wield trumpets of silver and brass. They will announce the coming of the king as loudly and as often as they can, and perhaps this loud departure will serve as a shield for Frodo and Sam as they walk the Black Land. After you gather 4 trumpeters, travel to the western gate of Osgiliath, and Aragorn's army will begin its march. I'll see you at the eastern gate of the city after the army is on the march. I mean, I've said it before, like, you gotta be careful, like, you can't just say march, 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 march. Like, I feel like you should restructure those sentences so you're not just whatever. All right. Again, not that I'm an expert writer, but that feels like a bit of slapdash writing. And I feel like a jerk saying that, but...
This trumpet belonged to my friend Araneth.
You seek trumpeters to proclaim the presence of Aragorn, now that he has revealed his true claim? I'm not as practiced as some others in Gondor, for I have only lately begun to learn the skill, but I would be honored to use my meager ability to announce the arrival of my chief and lord. My friend Araneth bore this trumpet on his person when he was slain at Tur Movra. I picked it up to save it from the hands of the treacherous men, and thought I might teach myself its use as a means of remembering poor Araneth. I will use it to proclaim the coming of King Elisar, and it will remind me of the friends that gave their lives so this day might happen. Okay. Okay, so I've got to go southwest, then keep going south.
I fought in the battle and saw more than my share of death.
As the afternoon wore on toward evening, sometime during the waning hours, I lost both my sword and the trumpet I carried on my hip, and suffered a knock upon the head by a heavy club. When I came to again, my sword was gone. It must have been taken by a foe or a friend who thought I was slain. My trumpet lay by my feet, battered and bruised even as I was, but still whole. I've taken that as a sign, and now I will be a trumpeter and not a swordsman. I will be honored to wind my horn to announce the coming of King Elisar. Let the sound strike fear into the hearts of our enemies and give them such a fright they will never threaten Gondor. Okay. I was curious what the enemies are, but it makes sense. Flies, rats, like, not to be grim, but that makes sense.
I will be pleased to sound my horn on behalf of the king.
I was inside the city when our friends from Rohan joined the battle, and my heart soared to see their charge. So inspired was I that I mounted a horse and followed the Prince of Dal Amroth and his knights through the gate into the throng of the battle. I was near at hand to Theoden, king of Rohan, when I saw the great beast descend and spelled his doom. I saw then the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, or ever will see. She stood between her fallen lord and the dreadful foe and slew that terrible creature in defense of her king. A great evil took me then, and I swooned. I think I dreamed, but I cannot remember the details of it. When I awoke, I was in the House of Healing. Friends tell me I was saved by the hands of a stranger, of curious visage and few words. I would find this man and give him my thanks, but he has left no sign. There are whispers that King Elisar may have worked his healing arts in the houses, but who would believe such a thing? No king would trouble himself with my hurts, surely.
To think I have lived to see a king once more in Gondor.
I've mastered many musical instruments, but I am most skilled and loudest with the trumpet. It will be my pleasure to sound mine at volume on behalf of the king. Oh, to think I have lived to see a king once more in Gondor. My heart leaps at the thought of it. You'll have no problem getting me to start. Getting me to stop will be another thing entirely. Alright, let's see what happens here. Target not in line of sight. Okay, how about now? The other thing, going back to the traceries and the essences and stuff like that, my fear, I guess, is that you need the help a little bit. You know, not that this is like intense gameplay, but like, you know, it might make it a little more manageable with the numbers and taking the hits and stuff. So like, you know, and again, I'm slightly under level, technically speaking, so I don't want to ignore it because I feel like I could use the help. But I do find it fiddly to deal with. As you can see, these guys are hitting hard, right? So, like, I don't want to...
We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late.
Alright, so we just helped this guy escape in the nick of time, so maybe he can rejoin the fight. That need everyone out there that we can get. So, what's this yellow one? What's purple? Alright, so there's a couple more brethren that could probably use a hand. Carrion crawlers again. Yeah, all of this is some good choice environmental storytelling kind of enemy placement. You know, few and far between, you don't really need to engage with it, but it makes sense that they're there. More than like roving band of orcs. So somewhere, let me... He's supposed to be here somewhere, I don't know. So the quest is find Deverin. Like if I have to kill, this is gonna be grim if this is like you kill the rat and you find his signet ring or something. Yeah, I don't know where... see a ring over there.
Is this your first time in Minas Tirith? Shame you couldn't see it in better days.
Okay, he's pinned, doesn't believe his leg is broken. If you would assist me, I should be able to make my way back. There we go. Okay, so we'll head to the northwest, check out this purple circle, see if we can aid a few more soldiers to rejoin the fight. Okay, he did his best to fend them off, but was separated from his allies. Safe to return, I'll go. But there was one more. I mean, I guess it's sort of counting it as done, but kind of curious how you what it takes to collect the ore. You know, at the end of the last session, we hit a point where it said to be continued, and the thing I never quite keep track of is how far the story is along. Like, we're getting deep into volume 4, obviously. I thought there was part of a volume 5, but I might be hallucinating that. I thought I Googled. I'm just curious. I'm just curious, what's ahead. And, I know at the time of this recording, just a sausage gets made. It's April 7th at this point, early morning, and sneaking it in my little bit of time before work, patching it together over multiple days, most likely. The Folly of Kings just released. It was like a free update, I think. But at some point, I'm wondering if we will outpace the story. And so what I'll tell you is going to happen is this, and I hope, I know there are some people that are here on the channel just for this. I can tell you my basic plan would be, obviously, to keep going with the story. I don't know, maybe I would record every once in a while, but, I would just be waiting for the next updates to continue with the main quest. That would be my basic plan. I would characters where it is. Maybe if I got the itch, I might, go do some side questing and stuff like that. I imagine I would not be at the level cap, but maybe I would. I don't know. And we would just go from there. But I might not keep up the regularity with this one while I waited for the new content. It would be something I would, keep coming back to as it arrived. And, and again, it's not, as much as I bitch and whine here and there about stuff, this kind of stuff, the moment-to-moment kind of things, I'm still greatly enjoying because it's still giving me a chance to be a tourist in Middle-earth. It's just when the big set piece comes or whatever, and they try and make the game do stuff that in my mind it's not intended to do, and in my mind it's not. And this might be the more important part of it. It's not quite what I signed up for, if that makes sense. Like, I've sort of... This is what I'm here for. Like, check a quest, go over there, collect the ore, see the story. But then when it's like, you know, operate a catapult, you know, it's like bonk, bonk, bonk. Or, you know, for me, it's like, you know, and, you know, again, it's optional. You know, like, apply traceries and all this shit. It's just like, okay, like, this wasn't... And it's not fair because, like, you know, are they not allowed to have, like, a second draft of the legendary item system? You know, I didn't care for the first one, and then they mix it up, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care for this one maybe so much either, and, you know, that's more on me. They're allowed to go for whatever they want. But getting to be immersed in Middle-earth is the thing I really have signed up for. And so when I'm getting that, I'm truly happy with the game still.
Both Dervarine and Rosaran are safely returned.
Okay. He's got a... Let's try it.
Mithrandir to accompany us.
In an attempt to cleanse the Pelennor Fields, I have asked for you and Eomer to destroy the corpse of the Witch King's fell beast. Look upon the fell beast carcass there.
The carcass of the fell beast still mars the field at which it breathed its last, and it remains a foul reminder of the villain it bore. It must be removed. I had thought to do so quickly and without ceremony, but a number of scholars from the city beseeched me, wishing to preserve some part of the creature for their study. Take this heavy cloth and wrap the head in it, so it may be safely transported to these scholars. We will then burn the body, for it cannot be allowed to fester here, at the site of Theoden King's ending. I like that just even it's dead, but again, the idea that, you know, evil is just this force that's inherent. Good work. Now set the head aside and spell a spell while you attend the corpse. Good riddance to this foul creature, eerie flames.
The dead beast and its master are cleansed from the field. Good.
And for that you have my thanks, but the memory of them lingers. I would have seen both head and body burned, but if it is Gandalf's wish that the head be preserved for scholarly study, I will not gainsay him.
If you would, accompany me to deliver this strange gift.
All right, let us away to the House of Lore. So we're going to bring the head to the scholars. Greeting the scholars, of course. My friends, I've returned from the field. We did not think you would return so soon, Mithrandir. We did not think you would return empty-handed either. Fear not, my friends, I have been true to my word, and there is a wrapped package just without. I will spare you the sudden shock of discovery. Within you will find the head of a fell beast. Can it be the head of the Witch King's steed? The very same. Study it with care and learn what you can. You have our thanks, Mithrandir. You're most welcome, my friends. May some wisdom come from even this.
I thank you for assisting me on this errand.
Such creatures are bred in the darkness of Mordor, and little is known of them, save that they are raised in corruption and used for evil. They are fed vile meats and treated unkindly and have proved fitting steeds for the enemy's most powerful lieutenants. Can they teach us anything more? Perhaps our friends here will learn something valuable from this study, and perhaps not. But I am glad to have given them the opportunity for such learning. If there is a chance, it might be had.
You should return to Aragorn's pavilion if you are finished here.
Again, I greatly enjoyed that little aside. It's just a quick moment. It's part of the story, the lore, the world building, whatever you want to call it. It's not like an endless, like, you need 37 minutes of combat. It's just, yeah, a quick story hit, click some things, get some story. All right. Talk to Éomer about the fallen beast, okay.
I am sure that the lore masters of Gondor will learn much.
I'll take might, I guess, why not?
We fought and we died on this field.
The final captain defeats Shumug.
Gondor.
Yeah, somebody here needs the ore. I don't know who it was. So we have the aftermath of victory. Who wants to talk to us about that? All right. Let's head to the southeast. Go to the western entrance of Osgiliath. Yeah, let's go down and I just wish I knew who wanted the ore. Place the ore in the forge. Okay, the forge is back here, so let me do that real quick. I assume it's by the forge master. Hopefully. Forge glows bright with the newly added metals. Nice, okay. Talk to Angbor. Get these guys re-armored. Such craftsmanship. I wonder how much customization needed to be made for like a suit of armor. Like I assume like plate mail had to be custom designed for the person who's going to wear it. But like if you're going to throw on like some chainmail or something, is it just like kind of one size fits all and you just tie it up as needed so it's not dragging around your ass or whatever?
Oh!
All right, so the soldiers are armored up. Talk to a soldier at the sparring area in Aragorn's pavilion. So I guess it's going to be sort of training up some soldiers. All right, well, whatever. Let's and I said it maybe on Lord of the Rings streams, on other streams. I apologize for the USB disconnection kind of sound. I don't know what causes it. Oh, is he fallen? Okay. Okay, let's see if we can find Forlong to the west. I appreciate that there's like a somber tone hanging over all of this. Oh, Forlong made it. Oh, my friend, I'm dying, but could you see that for yourself? But you could see that for yourself, I suppose. The good times, the adventures, what I wouldn't give for one more draft of that wine. Forlong coughs and tries to laugh through the pain. Ah, my friend, forget wine. Would that I could see Thorongil once more. I would swear, you must forgive me, I would swear I saw him upon the field of battle beneath the banner of the king. What delusions came upon us when our deaths are nigh. And yet if it were him and he had returned... Oh crap, I'm gonna get... Yeah, fucking... Okay. And yet if it were him and he'd returned in the hour of glory... Here, take my horn. If Thorongil truly is returned, he will know its sound, he will come. I am sure of it. Aragorn swiftly arrives, a look of grave concern on his face, and stands by his old friend. I heard you, friend. How badly are you hurt? Can you move?
I bid my old friend a last farewell.
Too late, and yet just in time. I have his memory now, and I shall hold it close to my heart, always. All right. So yeah, we're going to be making our way to the western gates of Osgiliath. Rest well, my friend. Kind of curious to see what Osgiliath is like, because Osgiliath, you know, if you remember from a few sessions ago, I thought was amazing. I had such a good time infiltrating, sneaking around, pulling off quests, getting through that section of the main storyline. I really enjoyed Osgiliath. So, not that I expect it to be quite as captivating, but I do have some like very recent nostalgia for it on in this journey. It was definitely a highlight of recent play sessions. So. Like, I was trying to figure out what, like, what the book quest, like, is this volume, like, the ring? Is this the end of the, from one battle to the next? For Aragorn's sake, I will complain not. Or is it, you see some familiar faces within the west entrance of Osgiliath. There will be more battles ahead. Talk to Nethadon. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, I just wonder, is volume 4 the end of the ring, or is volume 4 through the battle, and then volume 5?
I did not think that I would see you again so soon.
Oh, hello. I did not think I would see you again this soon. I'd rather hoped my father would let us remain a while longer in Imloth Melui. But when I heard that the battle was over, he made us depart at once. The flowers of Imloth Melui are breathtaking and beautiful, and the roses are quite a sight as well. My father promised Lord Angbor that we would bring our stock of Semenduril liquor to the houses of healing as soon as we were able, and we have done so, also satisfying our writ with Galengam. But now my father has that look in his eye once again, and he has made us come to the broken Osgiliath. He has made us come to broken Osgiliath over the Anduin instead of heading for home. Perhaps you could suggest that he and I return home, or maybe, if that's too far, we could turn our wagon in the direction of Imloth Melui and make sure the ladies of that place fare well in our absence. I think the father's like, no, dude, we got a duty.
I am proud to say my fortunes have changed for the better.
Ah, Black Lodge, any good friend of Lord Angbor would be a friend of mine, but you were my friend first, I dare say. I've not forgotten our encounter in Tarlang's Neck. We met at a low ebb in my fortunes, any man would admit that, but I am proud to say that those fortunes have changed for the better, and all because of my son. He's always made me proud, that one, and I defy any man to doubt it. If you don't remember, the story's always been how his son's kind of a mess, and he's not proud of him, but, yeah. We did need to leave Imloth Melui in rather a hurry, but that's no fault of my Nethadan. I did not like many of the glances that the fair lasses of that place gave to my boy, and I deemed that should the battle have kept us there any longer, I might have lost my apprentice and gained a daughter of the law. And that does not bring in the coins. No, we left at first opportunity, and now another opportunity has presented itself. You know what that opportunity is? Bandrin pauses for dramatic emphasis, waiting for you to guess. At last, he continues with a shout of triumph. Nails! It just so happens that with tremendous foresight, my clever and enterprising son Nethadan has caused us to come into possession of 2 barrels full of nails, as I'm sure you remember. And do you know what is in great demand following a battle? Nails of the very sort we possess in such quantities, and which we can sell to the craftsmen repairing the city and the bridges at a better than usual rate. For profiteering. Just doing my part as a man of Gondor, my friend. And if it allows me to set up my own shop in competition with Galengam, well, that is the merest coincidence. There's still enemies hiding in Osgiliath, however. If you were to defeat some of those foes, I would appreciate it. So let's go help him become a war profiteer. So yeah, the last time we were here, we were sort of slinking around and mixing it up. Curious what's going to be like now. I assume in theory it should be just pockets of resistance that I'll bump into. It doesn't feel like it should still be swarming. So I'm heading up north here. I'm just kind of curious what this ring is. When I was blinking on the quest, like defeat 8, for some reason it had some... I'm going to take out the defiler. It had some rings blinking as well, so I don't know. Lit up. Here we go. Oh, one at a time? Okay, we got it. All right. I wonder if a swarming city rat counts. It does. Okay. So anything we come across, we can wipe out. This rat's kicking my ass, so I need to start paying attention here a little bit. I'm gonna put some restorative shield up. Stack some bleeds. But then again, like, you gotta watch, like, my health is going down really fast. Might have just screwed up that. Gambit. We got 2 there. Archer. How many do I need? I just need 1. Oh yeah, remember this. This is where they had the captured prisoners fighting in the pit. Tell me, going the ring. There was a ring on the map. New D. A look into Osgiliath. And I'm sure there will be potentially enemies in here, but I'm not sure why the ring on the map was telling me to come here. Or maybe there won't be. All right. Let me check out what that deed was. I was just, in general, going to the palaces. Need one more, and that bat will do it. Okay. Go to the eastern entrance of Osgiliath. Okay, so I guess there's 6 supplies around the city I could probably take out. Yeah, I feel like I'm not in the best spot here for the river crossing. Let me check the map again. Okay, so I think the question is, is this like if you're seeing right there, can I go along the whatever this high road is or the low road, hop over and make my way down? Looks like there's a couple of crossings. We got one there. Is that a crossing? It doesn't seem like that's... This one seems to indicate some... That one seems broken. That one seems intact. You know what? Let's take the opportunity to just go through the ruins. Now, I don't think this is one of the wooden chests that was part of the deed. I think that's just cash money. Okay. It's good to be... I like returning to Osgiliath. And, and it's hard because, like... Lavish chest. Is that one of the... No. Okay. So, there's a bit of a hypocritical bent to it, right? Like, I talk about, like, the set pieces of Osgiliath that... didn't click for me, but for all intents and purposes, I'm sorry, not Osgiliath, Minas Tirith, that I struggled with a little bit. But you could argue that Osgiliath is also a set piece, and that was amazing. So I don't know, what it is that gets one to work for me and one to not. But it also makes me realize there's part of it might be my fault. because I'm just sort of speed running, not really, but you know what I mean, the main storyline. So probably not how this game is meant to be played. This game is meant to be take at your own pace, and then there's tons of like stories and like, and I was trying to figure out done, can't remember the name of it. But you know, it was one of those things where I had like this whole story quest line come to pass where I think it was in Rohan. Dunland. You know, that ended up culminating in like launching stuff at an encampment of the enemy from high ground. You know, like, so I feel like there's tons of story out there still left to do that I could probably, it would space things out a little bit on the main story. So like I'm not hitting this, then hitting that, and then keep going. And you know, maybe, you know, as I don't know how far I am from the end of this run with this character. I mean, I assume they want to keep it going forever, but you know what I mean? Like I was talking earlier about, like, I don't know how far the volumes go and the main story quest goes, but I could see you could almost start a whole other run. And I guess it's good to do the story quest just to keep it going, but you know, you're just sort of ticking that box just to tick the box. It's not the point. The point would be to really experience all the local quests and the regional, I guess the regional, I don't know what they're called, but you know what I mean. I'm not saying I'm going to do that because I don't think I have enough time left on Earth. Or do I? With my burglar run. Here we go. No. We'll have to see. I don't know why I'm saying we'll have to see. There's no way I can do that.
You have caused an impressive amount of noise.
The trumpeters will announce the arrival of King Elisar as his army marches through Ithilien. None will miss these tidings. Sauron will not fail to heed this march. The Prince of Dol Amroth has rightly pointed out that the size of this army is too small to pose a serious challenge to the host that lies within Mordor, but that in and of itself will draw his gaze hither. He will think Aragorn possesses the ring and believes that it will bring him the power he needs to overthrow Sauron. He will think this because that is the action he would take. Were their positions reversed. Okay, I see. He will think this because that's the action he would take were their positions reversed. The army will march slowly, but it will march loudly, and that is the best gift we can give to Frodo right now. I hope beyond hope that he is able to make use of that gift, and that it does not come too late for him. I feel bad. I don't know if there was supposed to be VO there, or if it's just supposed to be like a hero moment video, or I don't know. Okay.
Representatives from every land stand with the host of the West.
Elves, dwarves, men, and hobbits. Young Master Brandybuck recovers still from his wounds, secure in the House of Healing, so it falls to Peregrine Took to ride with Aragorn as a representative of the Shire folk. He rides just ahead to the east if you wish to speak with him on his way to the Crossroads of the King. Are we still in book 7? Okay, I wanted to make sure like something didn't shift.
What have I gotten myself into now, I wonder?
Aragorn says that it's good for every land to be represented when we go to confront the enemy in Mordor, but I don't feel like a fit representative for the Shire. I wish Merry were here, but he's still recovering in the city. He's done his share of great deeds, but what have I done? Gandalf says I might have saved Faramir's life, and I am glad that whatever small part I might have played helped. But I certainly didn't feel like much of a hero at the time. So I was going to say, I saw the Stable Master, like some of these I had to re-click, so let me redo that.
Sometimes indeed.
Nope. Anyway, so yeah, coming soon, the rerun, Burglar Edition. No, that's almost certainly not going to happen. It'd be one of those things like, and to be fair, like I've got a burglar on one of the legendary servers. It's like level 50 or something. What am I doing? Talk to Aragorn. Okay. But would I start over? Keeping in mind, like, the point is to do the regional ones.
To leave this meeting of the ways.
The armies of the enemy have done what they could to despoil the beauty of this land, but Ithilien resists their deprivations. It was once called the Garden of Gondor, and so may it be again. I have set trumpeters at each of the roads that leave this meeting of the ways. As Gandalf recommended, we will sound our arrival and our intentions. Speak to each of the trumpeters, and they will herald our coming. Once this is done, you should move ahead of the host and defeat any enemies you find lurking still in the wild. Men of Gondor have told me that a ranger encampment is not far to the north, at a place called Henneth Annuin. We will meet there. All right. Okay. Okay, tell Celebram to announce the coming of the blah blah blah. The lords of Gondor have returned and take back all these lands. Anyway, the reason why I got into all that is because it seems like maybe there's like a whole little storyline going on in Osgiliath. So, little how the sausages got made. I forgot to hit record for a minute, and so I grabbed a quest in Osgiliath after the battle, and it's like searching the houses and doing all that. So I'm wondering if it's going to build into something. Because Osgiliath is a place I would love to have a regional little storyline. Behold, the King Elisar exerts his command upon these lands of Gondor. And honestly, half my beef with Minas Tirith is that I'm an idiot and I have trouble getting around in 3D spaces in video games. The King Elisar has come, let all leave these lands or give them up. The lords of Gondor have come. Okay, so now the next thing is to defeat foes throughout North Ilion. Let's just grab these since we're out here anyway. Killing some orcs, killing some defilers, killing some stuff. Okay, we got ourselves a signature. Grip of Mordor, repeatable quest. You know, I'm gonna grab this because I have a feeling I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna kill 8 things, 20 things, whatever it is. This is another. Okay, so we're dealing with signatures here. They're not messing around. I can remember the... Oh, that's the... Okay, so that's the 4-3, so, yeah, fish, shield, fish adds more damage over time. Okay, so this area is not messing around. These are all signatures. Let me see what that other spire was blinking. Let me see what that does. Is that part of the quest? Yes. Okay. Nope, screwed that up. Get bad. All right. Okay, I've got my restorative shield back if I need it. That's good. They're throwing status effects on me left and right. Can't keep up with those. Nope, that Gambit got screwed up. All right. That's screwed up. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop restorative shield. Probably should have popped it earlier. That's what I wanted. I wanted them to both jump in there. Popping. Shit. Why didn't that pop? Did I not have enough power? That's why. I didn't have enough power. Nope. I don't know why I think it was going to go better, because I'm already starting like so far behind because I'm getting my ass kicked. All right, let's run away. Let's see if we can restart this. Actually, what's going to happen is I'm going to die in a second from damage over time. Okay, world will be shutting down in 30 minutes. Okay, let's keep going. Let's retreat now. Give this another shot. Where am I? Okay. Now what is it's telling me something right here. It's the overgrown branches. Clear overgrown branches, 12 of them. Okay. I mean, you know, since I'm doing this anyway. That's actually not a bad thing that it's gonna shut down. I feel like looking at the amount of time I've spent, even if I don't go through the whole thing, I feel like this is a good session. Although, I wish I knew how close I was to the end of this book, because I would... Yeah, maybe I'll have to patch it together, and if I'm pretty close to the end of this book, maybe I don't know, maybe I'll patch it together and figure it out. I mean, technically the wildlife counts as foes, but like just like racking up a goat seems... Although, you know, one of the recent sessions I was like, oh, does a doe count as a as a foe? And it did, and then the thing immediately knocked me on my ass, and we were off to the races. So, I mean, to what I was saying, like, I feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know, you're supposed to be taking on these little side quests. You're supposed to be, you're just getting out of the world, leisurely walking a boot, and, yeah. It's not meant to be like, bang out Osgiliath Part 1, bang out Osgiliath Part 2, go, 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 go. I don't know if that was Patrol the Hilltop. A lot of rings on here, and I don't exactly know why. Yeah, I mean, it's dumb, but yeah, I'll do the, I said it a million times, get me out into the world of Middle-earth here. I'll do the mindless stuff all day. Because what I was saying earlier, that's what I feel like I signed up for with an MMO. Although even that's a little hypocritical, because like I was doing some of the quests in like Osgiliath, it has to feel worthy of sort of quote-unquote main character. So when, like, you know, it's a quest that I often bring up, like when I have to feed the guy's cat in like Rohan, or when I need to get sandwiches for the dwarves who are getting into Moria, that genuinely feels like I just give them something to do. It doesn't matter. It should matter what you do. So even if I have to kill 12 of these or clear 10 branches along the road, like, that at least feels like it makes more sense to me. And that might be different for everybody. I feel like I want to be down there. I think that's where I got my butt kicked. Can I slide down here and do a little breaking legs? Hell yeah. warband that I'm not going to mess with. Oh, shoot. I was just saying how I wasn't going to mess with it. What are we looking at here? Elite Master. Nope, 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 nope. No, no, no. No. Actually, that's not the same thing. That's a different... Yeah. Let's retreat. Let me try this again. So where am I? I feel like last time I ended up on a different road. No, maybe it is the same. All right, here we go. All right, let's heal up a little bit. We'll take on these guys, take out these Duath spires. You know what, let me see, what is this? Lost track of where we are. Book 7. Let me just see how many chapters there are. Really quickly, and then I'll decide. So let's see, Volume 4, Book 7, Lotro, has... It's hard to say. Okay, let me try again. How many chapters in Lotro Volume 4, Book 7? There's 8 chapters in an epilogue. What are we up to now? We're on chapter 5. Okay, so I might split this in half, you know, because we're on 5 now, we're sort of working through that. So we'll do 5, 6, 7, and then the epilogue, hopefully in the next video. So yeah, this will be a part 1. Oh, I had the boot ready to go and I didn't do it. Shoot. got that interrupt off. So I've got 6 things of damage over time going on him. Okay, so for the book quest here, mainly we just need to kill 7 or 8 creatures. 8 creatures, so we got 7 of that done. Telling me there's something here, and I don't know what it is. That'll count as a foe, why not? Okay, find the ranger encampment at Henneth Anun in north yada yada yada. Okay, so it's way up there. Okay. So again, there's still something here they're trying to tell me to do, and I don't know what it is. Overgrown and overrun. Something here is overgrown and over... Oh, there we go. How many of those do we have to do? I feel like we're getting close on that. Okay. Quest north of Ithilien? Sure, why not? So reclaiming Ithilien is defeat orcs, destroy... Okay. So yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit here. Let me see if these are regular enemies or if these are also signatures. Because yeah, we want to sort of retake these ruins a little bit. Normal and normal. Captain, though. Signature. So can I do this without... Okay, I'm going to hope damage over time can take that guy out. I'm going to focus on him now. Okay, you know what we're going to do? Let's pause here. I'm getting notices that server's going to shut down. Let's pause here. When we come back, we'll pick it up, retaking these ruins, and making our way north to keep going with Book 7. So this will be part 1 for Book 7. You know, and it's one of those things, like after a little bit of a low, I've been really enjoying Book 7. for the most part. You know, the aftermath of Minas Tirith, I've actually found more interesting than Minas Tirith and Pelennor itself so far. Although, you know, again, Pelennor did wrap up the storylines in really sad ways for a lot of the characters we've been traveling with recently. And, you know, as I've said, I'm kind of curious. I don't know if is there a Volume 4 or Volume 5. I just have no idea how far it goes. So, but given where we are in the story, and I know the story continues after The Ring, but I don't know how formal that is. So, anyway, this is Black Lodge Trivia Night, doing our Lord of the Rings Online book quest run with the part 1 for book 7 in volume 4. Thank you to everybody who checks this stuff out. We greatly appreciate all of you. If you're watching this, you found our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, notification bell, whatever you want to do if that's your thing. We're mainly a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. And at the time of this recording, we're doing a little Pathfinder. Very excited that Season of Ghosts. Matt's running it, and Matt and Patrick are both really good GMs. They're both also really good players. I'm not good at any of it, so I appreciate them letting me ride their coattails. But, yeah. You know, we're also doing Skyrim at the time. We got a Discord if you want to jump in and talk about RPGs, CRPGs. If you don't, no problem. But mainly, you know, we hope you're doing well. We genuinely appreciate you guys checking this out, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.